I don't know if you have time to look into this, Greg, because you're running around, obviously covering the current football team as well as recruiting, and his travel schedule, especially during the season and when camps are going on pre-pandemic, and hopefully things get back to normal. Greg's travel schedule is crazy. But when it comes to the NFL draft, do you have much time or any thoughts on what could happen there from the Nebraska side this year?
Oh, absolutely. Always do. Before I go into that, though, I just realized the other day it's been over a year since I got on an airplane. That's crazy. It's probably been – it's over 20 years since I could say that. So probably even longer, 30 years maybe. But anyway, NFL draft, I think, Nebraska's top prospect would be Brandon Hymus, the offensive tackle. He's played a lot of football at Nebraska, and he's ready to go for the NFL. So I expect him to get drafted, maybe a fifth round type guy, and I think that would be about as high as you're going to see any other Huskers go. But Matt Farniok is in the draft, and I think he's at least a guy that if he doesn't get drafted in the later rounds, then he's definitely going to be a free agent, a signee. You got DiCaprio Boodle out there as a corner. I think he'll definitely get some looks, obviously. And that would be your top three guys that you're kind of looking at right now as far as getting a shot here in the draft. But you never know. I mean, some other guys could pop up. It's hard to say right now.
We've still got 12 or 13 games left to play before the next draft. So much will change, of course. But the way things are shaping up with the roster and that loaded defense, I got to think that next year's NFL draft is going to be a big one for Nebraska.
Yeah, there'll be quite a few names coming out next year. Guys like a JoJo Doman that I think, NFL teams really love a guy like that. Cam Taylor-Britt, some of these receivers. Samari Torrey obviously has already been talked about as a draft pick. It depends on if Omar Manning sticks around for 2 years or not. But he obviously looks like he's got an NFL body. And Ben Stilley, on the defense, he could also project there as an NFL pick. So, yeah, and that's just to name a few. But there's a lot of guys. Even you never know. Maybe Taylor Martinez forgoes a senior season as well if he does well this year. So there's a lot of guys out there that have some shots.